Welcome back to Comic Book History. This is episode number 8. And like I said in my last episode, when I mentioned this episode I'm talking about the thing that pretty much got Marvel Comics out of its bankruptcy. Even though, yes, it was purchased by Ike Perlmutter and Avi Arand, this is one of the other ways they did it. What was this? Marvel Knights, an imprint that lasted from 1998 and pretty much went dormant in 2013, but it stopped becoming a regular feature for Marvel. Let's see. I think it stopped after 2006. This is when it stopped becoming a major factor when it comes to the Marvel Universe. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, pretty much, the initial 4 series that started off this imprint were Black Panther, Daredevil, Inhumans, The Punisher. Well, basically, Black Panther, Daredevil, Inhumans, and, well, there was a Punisher miniseries that came just before this, and that was the POV series. The series where it's also Punisher Purgatory. It was done by Christopher Golden and Thomas Sagasi with artwork by Bernie Reisting. Great artist. I actually had a chance to meet him at Comic-Con this year. Yeah, basically turning the Punisher into a supernatural angel, which they later rectified it with the following volume done by Warren Ellis. Yeah, where initially it was a 12-issue maxi series. Yeah, a 12-issue maxi series that started in the year 2000. And due to the success of that, and that was written by not only Warren Ellis, but here's something interesting though. The artwork is done by the now late awesome Steve Dillon, who also did the following volume of the series, also done with the same creative team, Warren Ellis and Steve Dillon. Though for some reason, and I'm not sure exactly why this was, the following volume, for some reason, decided to have it where they had it where a few issues were not done by Garth Ennis. He did pretty much a majority of it, except for issue 7, where Steve Dillon wrote the issue, surprisingly. He wrote and drew the issue. Ron Zimmerman did issue 8, and Tom Payer did issues 9 through 12. But pretty much a majority of it was done by Warren Ellis, and the artwork for the most part was done by Steve Dillon. Steve Dillon, the only issues he did not do a volume 5. He did not do issues 8 through 12, 15, 24 to 31, and 33 to 37. And that's it. So, you have 3 Punisher books under the Marvel Knights imprint. Now, here's something interesting though. This imprint pretty much, like, if I can get this properly. Yeah, the imprint itself started off with just 3 series. They pretty much took the Daredevil series, which at that point had reached 380 issues. Yes, 380, and they had gone one of its frequent changes of status quo every 2-3 years. Every year or two, and that's basically having Daredevil basically suffering through amnesia and spending time in France for about 5 issues before he went back home. Now, initially, the book itself for the first 81 issues was done under the Marvel Knights imprint. The initial creative team of the book, who was Joe Quesada. Yeah, it was Joe Quesada as the artist of the first 8 issues, Kevin Smith as the writer, and Jeremy Palmiani as the inker. Now, pretty much all the creative teams of these books were simply people from Event Comics. That was a company started by Joe Quesada and Jim Fabiani, which failed after a couple years, and they publicly admitted that, yeah, they failed because they screwed up. The Inhumans book, which only lasted 12 issues, that was done by Paul Jenkins and Jay Lee. Black Panther, even though only the first 12 issues were done in the imprint was initially done by, of all people, Christopher Priest. Some people might recognize that name currently as the writer of the Deathstroke series, which is really awesome, by the way. I highly recommend it. But yeah, these imprints basically were being implemented in a way. Yes. That's pretty much the way it was. After Kevin Smith left at issue 8, a majority of the time up until issue 81, a lot of it was written by Brian Michael Bendis, and then Brubaker, and then finally Andy Diggle, who was the last writer of that volume. Well, when it was had been renumbered back to 500, Andy Diggle was the last writer before it ended the 12 issues, and then pretty much we had runs by Mark Waid and currently by Charles Scholl. I'll get to Daredevil probably in a later video. Inhumans was a pretty decent book for what it was. Despite the fact it was an ongoing series, I heard someone claim it was a limited series, but there were other limited series published on the Marvel Knights imprint. Incredible Hulk briefly was published on Marvel Knights imprint. There was even 3 series even had the name Marvel Knights in the book. Yeah, Marvel Knights Fantastic Four, which was the only spin-off book starting the Fantastic Four, while also having the main book. You also have Marvel Knights Spider-Man, which was done by Mark Millar and Terry Rachel Dotson, which people didn't like the way with the whole thing of Venom being Mac Gorgon. You also have Wolverine for 2 years being under the Marvel Knights imprint. The Ecstatic for the last 6 issues. District X, this entire series. Elektra, the first 22 issues of its 35-issue volume. And that's it when it comes to ongoing series. There are other ones. Of course, you have Punisher, Black Widow, Doctor Strange, Bullet Bones, Wolverine / Punisher Revolution, Daredevil Ninja, Marvel Boy, which is done by Grant Morrison. Of course, Punisher series I mentioned. Sentry, Black Widow Volume 2, Daredevil Yellow, which was done by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale. Daredevil / Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, 1, 2, 3, 4, Ghost Rider the Hammer Line, Hulk Smash, Elektra, Glimpse, and Echo, Marvel Knights Double Shot, which was a 4-issue limited series, Spider-Man Blue, also done Spider-Man Blue and Hulk Gray, both by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale, Marvel 1602, which was a Neil Gaiman series, awesome, I highly recommend it, Spider-Man Wolverine, Black Widow Volume 3, which was 6 issues, Daredevil Father, Mandrix, which was done by Peter Dave, which led to his awesome run on X Factor, Man-Thing Volume 4, Wolverine / Punisher, Black Widow, Things They Say About Her, Daredevil Redemption, Daredevil vs. Punisher, Means and Ends, Ghost Rider, Road to Damnation, Shaun of the She-Devil Volume 2, Claws, this is of course the first Claws series, Fury Peacemaker, Punisher vs. Bullseye, X-Factor Dead Girl, Captain America The Chosen, Daredevil battling Jack Murdock, Silver Surfer, I actually read that series, it's really good, Spider-Man Reign, basically describe this series, it's Dark Knight Returns for Spider-Man. Yeah, it's really bizarre. Iron Man Viva Las Vegas, which is actually not a canon series, mind you. This is set in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'm not sure when. Submariner to the Deaths, Spider-Man with Great Power, Age of Revelations, his only miniseries ever had. It's only a couple of one-shots. Logan, X-Men Magneto Testament, Punisher Warzone. I believe this was the second volume of the series. Deadpool Wade Wilson's War, very weird series. Deathlock Volume 3, Spider-Man Fever, Marvel Knights Hulk, Marvel Knights Spider-Man Volume 2, and Marvel Knights X-Men. Yeah. Initially, in a way, you can kind of say that fully, in a way, the series, the whole imprint kind of ended with 2010, but was briefly brought back in 2013 as sort of like new talent showcase. But the stories had really bizarre artwork. Interesting writing, though, but really bizarre artwork. Overall, I've read a good chunk of this stuff already. I mean, a lot of the stuff I named, pretty much a lot of them were Daredevil miniseries, which recently he had a miniseries where he fought the Punisher again. Yeah, it was the second Punisher versus Daredevil miniseries that's been out. The only reason why that the comic came out was because Punisher was appearing on Daredevil Netflix series, and it kind of partially, I haven't read it yet, but what I can tell from it, it kind of ties into what goes on in the pages of Daredevil in a way. The current book by Charles Shaw, which is I believe it's a sixth. Yeah, it's the fifth volume of the series. Which this is actually one of three series left to go that could possibly have its 600th issue. The other, of course, is Iron Man, which that could reach that within just a few years, along with for Avengers next month. Hopefully, Mark Waid actually makes that next issue 600 because it kind of needs to be because Avengers did have a 500 issue, but hasn't had a 600 issue yet. It kind of needs that. Hopefully, Mark Waid got my tweet about that. But the Marvel Knights imprint depends on, now. From what you can tell from it, it is set in the 616 universe, but it's loosely connected to stuff like that. Like in the case of the Punisher stuff, in the case of its third volume, the only connection that it has to the 616 universe was that you had appearances by the Black Widow a few times during that, and of course Spider-Man, Wolverine, and Daredevil show up during that series too, toward the very end of it. Of course, Punisher Volume 4 and 5, the Welcome Back Frank stuff, and about half of the fifth volume of the series was adapted into the video game Punisher that came out in 2005, which I played. It's a really good game. Kind of hard, but really good. The name itself was also used. Oh, there was also the Marvel Knights ongoing series, which was briefly lasted about 15 issues. It starred Daredevil's unnamed team. Pretty much, if you look at the team, a majority of the team is like everybody who's been on the Marvel Knights imprint, like Punisher, Daredevil, Black Widow, basically a bunch of people. I mean, initially the team was first formed to find the Punisher, which they did add to the group, and the team itself never got official name. It's in universe is referred to as Daredevil's unnamed superhero team, and during the course of the series, Dagger became close friends with Black Widow, which was really neat for the book to do. Do I think the series should come back? Possibly. The imprint, I have no idea. But the imprint itself, what it was really good. And also got, in case you're familiar with Alex Maleev currently on Infamous Iron Man, he was also the International Iron Man. This is, during Bendis' run on Daredevil, Alex Maleev got his start there from Marvel. This is one of his most well-known works. And Bendis' run has been collected several times over the years because Marvel loves Brian Michael Bendis. Quesada, aside from doing artwork initially for Daredevil, after that, in 2006, he was named the editor-in-chief of Marvel Comics, which his run was a bit controversial in a way. Couple reasons. One, because of House of M, and One More Day. But I do respect him as an artist and the fact that he pretty much helped save Marvel Comics. I do not like the fact that he did the whole retcon of One More Day. Joey Palmiani currently works for DC, along with Christopher Priest. As for Paul Jenkins, I think he's working for Dynamite, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's Dynamite or IDW. I'm not really sure exactly which company he works for, but he does work for some particular company. Yes. Priest, like I said, works for DC. Of course, Joey Palmiani is doing work right now on the Harley Quinn series, which is awesome, by the way. And also, I think he co-writes the Harley Quinn Little Black Book series. But as for everybody else, Garth Ennis, he's back at DC. Steve Dillon, like I said, has since passed away. David Mack. As far as I can tell, I don't think he's doing anything. No. Yeah, this guy, I don't think he's doing anything right now that I can think of. As for Mike Oeming, let's see. Nothing really. Oh, wait, hold on. Yeah, he's doing the cybernetic. The Cave Carson has a cybernetic eye series. Of course, Ryan Michael Bendis is working on several books at Marvel. He's working on Guardians of the Galaxy, which I've heard is running his ending soon. Jessica Jones, Spider-Man. What else? If it's Iron Man, Invincible Iron Man, the Scarlet series with Alex Maleev. And I believe he's also working on Powers as well. Whenever he does feel like releasing it, he owns the rights. He actually owns that series. But yeah, he's probably the only one who's actually really super busy right now. Priest is just working on, like I said, Deathstroke. Paul Jenkins, I'm not really sure exactly what series he's working on now. Let me look it up here. Let's see. Yeah, Amanda Connor also came here, and James Robinson, heck, Vincent Ramos, who currently does. Heck, Mark Wade even came from Event Comics too. I should probably do one on this company too. But Paul Jenkins. Let's see. Let's see if I can find out exactly what he's doing now. I know I saw his name recently on the book. I just don't remember when. Here we go. Let's see. He's currently doing. Okay, he's working at Boom Studios right now. I believe he's working on Deathmatch and Fury Quest and Revelations. That's it. So he's working on a few series per se, but him, Priest, and Bendis are probably the most active ones from who actually started with that particular one. Wade, who actually started with Event Comics, we know books he's doing now. He's doing Black Widow. I heard a rumor might be ending soon. Avengers, the Point One books, Avengers, and of course, Champions. All in all, Marvel Knights imprint. I've read a good majority of this imprint. I have not read the entirety of it, but I've read a good majority of it. It's a good imprint to check out. Pretty much almost the entirety of it is in trades, so it's not hard to track down. Not at all. I mean, I think that the Inhumans run by Paul Jenkins and Jay Lee, that's in one trade. The Christopher Priest trades, Marvel started collecting those just late last year, and I believe that they're volume 3 now. Bendis, Daredevil run's been collected many times, so you can find it pretty easily. So, yeah, you can find this in any place on the line. Some of the miniseries you may or may not find online, but a good chunk of the stuff is easy to find. But all in all, Marvel Knights imprint. Thank you, Marvel Knights, for pretty much getting Marvel out of bankruptcy. Okay, so that's it for this one. My next episode, I'm going to talk about the history of Superboy. Yep, talk about its publication history. Okay, but until then, I will see you there. Bye.